all week long.
All rise, order in the court, and a man with one of the nicest stashes and glasses I've seen in quite a while is chomping up the bit, as they say.
Creed, is that the fake glasses with the fake nose and mustache attached? It's like, a disguise you would get at like the Five and Dime, perhaps.
So funny you ask about that. Hang on just.
I mean, I just feel like we're being bamboozled right here. Welcome to We Got a Case, by the way. Court cases from across this great land of ours. As only we can do it. And we do it to it. As Creed prepares a fantastic...
It'll take way too much time for me to open, but I just found this the other day in my stuff.
Yes.
I was going to open it, but it's got so much tape on it. And,
it is. It really is.
But I have it for next time when we run across a guy that looks like this. That's funny you just said that.
I mean, I feel like that's him, right? Am I barking up the wrong tree?
Looks just like him. I know we got something to jump to. Let's just see what he's barking about here real quick.
With respect to bond pending sentencing. Your Honor, I would not.
Surely he couldn't have gotten in trouble, right?
Is he an attorney?
Your client's in treatment at this time.
He is at the Sunrise facility. He has completed the first round of that treatment. He intends to stay there for subsequent treatment, but we will make him.
I'm going to continue your bond.
He's chasing the dragon.
Thank you. You're going to have to comply with all those terms and conditions. So if you have to do testing, you have to comply with that. You understand?
Yes, I understand that.
You're going to have to cooperate with the Michigan Department of Corrections. They're going to prepare a pre-sentence report. So they'll be in touch with you and they'll be contacting you about having this pre-sentence report get prepared. So you need to cooperate with that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
Right. The last thing I want to talk to you about is that I'm just a visiting judge here. I'm just filling in for the judge that normally sits here. So that the presiding judge is going to be sentencing you. Do you understand that?
Rose?
I do.
Okay, you understand that there'll be a different judge.
What do you
that will
think,
sentence you on this matter? Do you understand that?
Yes, personally, I think the program will probably end here. I should be able to complete it by around April 25th, I think.
All right, that's good. That's good to know. All right, Mr. Harrison, are you waiving any right to have me be the sentencing judge here?
We are.
Maybe he's younger than we think.
Well, Mr. Wiggins?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
But I doubt it.
Maybe.
Mr. Wiggins, do you have anything else for the record?
Drugs will age you, Creed.
No, Your Honor.
Cocaine.
I do not.
Down
Thank
to
you for
the
your
ground.
patience.
Cocaine.
Mr. Howdy, thank you for your patience. We're sorry we didn't get to you sooner.
Wow, that was definitely interesting to see that.
Come up with a bail bond company, which might charge around $1,200.
Young
Or
Hitler.
you can have an attorney go and talk to the county judge in Hayes County and try to
Volunteers,
convince them to reinstate the old bond if you have some kind of explanation for why you didn't show up for court. Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
Yes,
All right.
please.
One other thing, you also have a bond forfeiture out of
Time
Travis
served.
County for driving while intoxicated charge. The bond has been set on that at $10,000. So the grand total on all three cases is $22,000.
Goodness.
And you're going to hire your own
Going
lawyer.
swinging.
Do you have any questions?
JG,
All right, good
I
luck.
didn't catch that. Imagine if he has a drug problem in a
John Cook.
nursing home that's not in the villages.
Mr. Cook, you're charged with a Class A misdemeanor assault causing bodily injury to a family or household member. Your bond amount set at $5,500. You're not going to get a personal bond. You're going to need to go through a bail bondsman or a lawyer to get out.
Yeah, everybody's
You'll have an
handcuffed. That's
opportunity
weird.
to use a
Hey, yeah,
phone to try to make
beautiful
that happen.
hair.
If
No,
you do post
did he
bond,
ever?
you have quite a few conditions you need to comply with, and I'm going to go over that. First of all, you have an emergency protective order being issued in this case. This is for the protection of Mia McGuire, and it prohibits you from doing four things, okay? First of all, you're prohibited from committing family violence against her, which is already illegal. Second of all, you're prohibited from communicating with her or members of her
Already illegal.
household or family in a threatening or harassing manner, right? Thirdly, you're prohibited from going within 200 yards of 2020 Ford Street in Austin, Texas. Is that where you were living?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna have to find another place to live. You're gonna have, you
Good
have
luck.
some personal belongings there. I'm sure you need to have someone else go there and get it for you. Fourth, you're prohibited from carrying a firearm or ammunition. You have a concealed handgun license. It is
You're gonna
suspended.
go in today.
This
Thank
protective order is gonna
you.
last for 2 months till April 24th. You're gonna get a copy. Make sure you read it and comply with it, because if you violate it, it is punishable by up to a year in jail. Now, the protective order lasts for 2 months. You got a couple of other conditions that don't expire in 2 months.
We don't typically see these people all handcuffed. They're just like willy-nilly sitting in a room with like art supplies.
So first of all, they all had a very rough night, didn't get much sleep. But second of all, I'm guessing that these are maybe because the bonds are up pretty high.
Yeah, these are pretty.
So I'm thinking
serious.
that, you get to a certain point where your charges are, and then you gotta come in. The night that I spent in jail, they shackled us, brought us into court.
Chain gang Creed.
A week ago, the same thing. And so because of that, these conditions are required. All right. Bail bonds often charge you around 10%, which in this case would be around $550.
Your Honor, is there any way that I could address one issue about the conditions?
Yes,
Go ahead.
please.
The requirement to not be at that home. I do not have any family members who live in the state. I do not have any friends who can support me.
No friends,
I'm
Heather.
the only
Would you like to be his friend, Heather?
school and utility provider at that address, without being able to
Good
not
luck,
only
Carol.
get my things from that home, but like live there. I literally have nowhere else to go. Is there any way that that could be potentially reformed based on her consent or agreement to that?
No, if this was the first offense, I would say yes. And in fact, an emergency protective was not issued last week for that very reason. But we're right back here again. And under those circumstances, no, I'm afraid not. I know it's an
Maybe.
inconvenience. I don't like kicking people out of their house unnecessarily. But under the circumstances, I've read the police report, not only in this case, but I read the whole case file last week in preparation for this. And under the circumstances, and I don't mind you asking, but in my opinion, under the circumstances, it is
Can of
necessary.
worms.
I know that's an inconvenience and you're gonna find another place to live. Hopefully you can crash at a friend's place or something for the next 2 months. After 2
He
months,
just told us he
after
didn't have
April
any
24th,
friends.
the emergency protective order expires, which means at that point you can return there. All right. Now you still cannot communicate with them in a threatening or harassing way, but you can return within 2 months. Okay.
Okay, we probably won't have that place. I'll probably be kicked out, but understood.
Okay. Do you want a court appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
No, I have one. No, I don't. I have one.
You have a lawyer? You're gonna hire your own?
Well, then you got a friend.
Who's your lawyer? Do you know?
Mark, I forget his last name. I've contacted him in the holding area.
I just call him Attorney Mark.
Great. All right. Good luck. Thank you. All right, Brandon Pace.
Hit
Mr.
your mark.
Pace, you are charged with a Class A misdemeanor driving while intoxicated. Your
Beautiful
bond amount
hair.
set at $3,500. However, I am going to do a personal bond in your case. You're going to be released in the next couple of hours based on your promise to come to court. You do have 2 conditions you need to comply.
beautiful
Number 1, you are required to install an ignition interlock device on your vehicle. You know what
Damn
that is?
drunkard.
Okay.
I
You
read
have
his
30
face.
days from your release to install that device on your vehicle. You cannot drive any vehicle at
Real
all.
quick while he's
until
talking
that
about
device
that,
is
over to the
installed. So
Double
it's not like
Dirty,
you can
I got
drive
a
around without it.
screenshot. I just wondered why it looks like that dude's standing on the table. Of course, when it's blown up, it doesn't, but from afar, the security guard, when you're looking at it from afar,
Yeah,
it looks just like
Travis
Looks
County.
different.
And
Yeah.
They can walk you through that process, answer any questions you have.
made me laugh.
Okay. Second of all, you are required to be screened for alcohol counseling. You have a piece of paper telling you when and where to go to do that. Besides that, just show up for all you court dates. Do you want a court appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
Court appointed.
Do you have any questions? All right, good luck. Todd Manning.
He was a tall drink of water.
Mr. Manning, you are charged with a Class B misdemeanor driving while intoxicated. Your bond amount set at $2,000. However, I am going to do a personal bond in your case. You can be released in the next few hours. Make sure you show up for all your court dates.
Yes, sir.
Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own
Where's
lawyer?
God rides home early? I found him a weekend lover here that's I believe riding the bus while she's at court here over at Collins.
They kind of frown on that sometimes, but
It'll be written on your paperwork when you get out. The first court date will be in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Travis Gill.
Well, he's banging right through him today.
He really is.
You are charged with a Class B
pussyfoot.
misdemeanor driving while intoxicated. Your bond amount set at $4,000. However, I am going to do a personal bond in your case. You're going to get out of jail today for free, based on your promise to come to court.
For
You do
free?
have 2 conditions you need to comply with.
I'm gonna say
Number
this
one,
guy and the other
you
guy
are
next to
required to
him.
install an ignition interlock device on your vehicle. You have 30 days to install it. Cannot drive until it's installed. 3 days to contact pretrial services and set up an appointment with them, and you'll get that number when you get out. Second of all, you need to be screened for alcohol counseling. You'll have a piece of paper telling you when and where to go to do that. Besides that, just show up for your court dates. Do you want a court-appointed attorney, or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
Sure.
Hire your own? Okay. Do you have any questions? All right. And incidentally, for those of you who I approved a personal bond for, there is a one-time $20 or $40 personal bond fee on each case that needs to be sent in within a week after your release, and an envelope would be attached to your paperwork to send that in. It's not money you need to come up with before you get out, but you do need to send that in.
Hey.
What's that? Just for the people that get personal bonds, that they have to pay that fee.
No, that's it. They're the only ones who got it.
What's that?
What?
Never mind.
What?
Isaac Carson.
He'd make a good news
Hey,
reporter.
it's who's up
Well,
next?
Carson,
What?
you are charged with a
Perfect
Class
timing.
B misdemeanor terroristic threat. You have 2 of those charges.
Uh-oh.
These are rising out of an incident that allegedly happened. I believe it was.
The dude, I can explain. Look, he was coming to fix my car window. He broke my door handle to get into my car. And I was like, nigga, you're not gonna fix my fucking door either. And he just got mad. And I called him. I was like, I'm gonna fuck that shit. But they said that was threatening. But I ain't threatening.
Well, talk to your lawyer about that. I can't get into the details of it. Whatever you say here can be used against you. And so I can't discuss the facts of the
Fix
case
my door.
without your lawyer present. And that's
It's
for
my
your
effing
protection.
door.
I know you have your side of the story. Your bond amounts are set at $7,500 each. Total amount is $15,000. Now, a bail bond company will often charge around 10%, which would be around $1,500. If you do post bond, Mr. Carson, you have a couple of conditions you need to comply with. First of all, you're already on an electronic monitor, right?
My curfew,
I'm sorry.
Huh?
that's about my curfew.
Yeah, that's between you and the monitoring on what your curfew is. Second of all, you're not allowed to have any contact with the alleged victims in this case, not by phone, email, text message, nothing. Thirdly, you're required to stay 200 yards away from both of them as long as this case is pending. And lastly, you're prohibited from carrying any firearms while these cases are going on. You understand that?
You know who the other one is? I know one of them is a window person. The other one the same person?
So it's part of the same company. There was the person,
Okay.
there's the owner of the company
Microphone
that you
completely
allegedly
cut
talked
out.
to on the phone, who's claiming you threatened him on the phone. And there's the guy who actually came out to the parking lot. So you got 2 different people. You need to have no contact with either one of them. Stay 200 yards away. Don't possess firearms. Do you want a court-appointed attorney, or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
I got to pull up one day, 23 risk potential.
Do you have any questions?
Oh, sorry.
Look,
You need a better microphone right there. The
All right.
other one used to be so
Raymond
much
Boki.
better.
Yeah.
Mr. Bokeh, you're charged with a Class A misdemeanor driving while
Ugh.
intoxicated. Your bond amount set at $5,000. However, I am going to do a personal bond in your case. You can
Hey,
pay
yeah,
that bill
beautiful
free
hair.
based on your
He
promise to
had.
come to all your court dates. Let me ask you a question.
Well, my mis-
Based upon the allegation in this case, it's not involving any alcohol, but rather some type of prescription drugs. I don't want you to comment on that. But my question for you is, in your previous case from back in 1994 in Kendall County, did that involve alcohol or drugs or something like, do you recall what that involved? What's that? Yeah, okay. So you're going to be required as a condition of your release to install an ignition interlock device on your vehicle. Okay, has to make sure you don't get behind the wheel with any alcohol in your system. All right. Come up close so I can hear you.
Yeah.
Speak up.
I don't drink. I don't have.
I don't drink, he said.
I've had maybe 1 beer in the last several months.
Well, that's the allegation. The allegations are that it's just involving drugs. And that's why I was asking you whether the one back in 1990s that you have a conviction on your record, whether that involved alcohol. You saying you don't drink anymore?
I haven't drank in years and years.
All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and waive that requirement since this appears to be simply prescription drug related.
Oh,
That was why I was asking you, because if I
So
don't,
what's the
if I don't
interlock
feel
going
it's
to do?
necessary, I'd rather not
That's why I
put
just- yeah, he
unnecessary
wouldn't do it.
conditions because it's cost you money. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna waive that.
I think that he
You
was
are required
thinking
to
that
be
this
screened
is
for
a
alcohol or
ongoing
drug
thing.
counseling.
Yeah.
All right. In this
I don't know,
case,
he's
it may
got
be
hair of an
prescription
alcoholic,
drugs, but
though.
you're gonna have to be
He
screened
really
for that.
does.
Did it come back clean?
Well, the blood work hadn't come back yet, but you could talk to your lawyer about that. All right. But I'm just saying, based upon the information that I've read, I want you to be screened for drug or alcohol counseling. And so you'll have a piece of paper telling you when and where to go to do that. You're not going to be required to install that device on your vehicle, but you do need to do the counseling and make sure you show up for court, okay?
Need a welfare check on Canadian.
Do you want a
Bread.
court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
Oh, no.
Is that?
Okay, man.
You get your own. All right. Do you have any questions?
They must have really bad
Good luck.
public defenders.
What's that?
Can you repeat the bond?
The bond amount's
Tried.
$5,000.
Thank you for the
However, I'm going to do a personal bond, so you're not going to have to pay it as long as you show up for court. If you don't show up for court,
I like
can
just
sue you
because.
for $5,000.
Next
As
week,
long
hey,
as you
Mikey,
take
we're
care of
gonna do our
business, you won't
first
have to pay.
night court.
It's going to be a good time. Good time.
Good times, good times.
We're going to clean out the computer, get rid of some of this stuff, and maybe even catch some
Right,
court.
Mark Jenks.
Yes, Jean Larquette.
Mr.
Speaking of
Jenks,
night
you're
court,
here on a charge out of Burnett County for failure to appear on a driving while intoxicated charge. The county
was in
judge
Myrtle
of Burnett
Beach,
County
Pamela.
has set your bond at $5,000. You're not going to get a personal bond because this is a failure to appear on the previous bond that you posted. So you are going to need to go through a bail bondsman or a lawyer. Bail bondsman often charge around 10%, which would be around $500. Okay. Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own court appointed? Do you have any questions?
What's the date on that?
The date on the charge? I may not be able to tell since it's Burnett County and I don't necessarily have all that information. I can tell you that looking for a date on the warrant. Burnett County didn't indicate to us when the date on the warrant was, and I can't tell from the case number. Sometimes it starts with the year of the charge, but the case number here is M374091. That doesn't tell me what year it is. So I don't know how long. Do you?
Just looks like he's in a wheelchair. I mean, he's not, but it just looks like he is. Does it?
he's pretty stiff.
Well, I can tell you.
I love
that
this court, but
you
not here.
I do
are-
too.
The criminal
I-
record shows an arrest
We're going to have to bounce.
in some county
we're gonna
for
have to.
DWI in December 4th of 2020. So perhaps that's this case. So it's that, if it is, then you were talking, it's a little over 2 years old. All right.
What do I do at this?
I do
Go ahead,
have.
What do I do at this?
You need to post bond to get out. Your bond's $5,000. If someone comes down to the jail with 5,000, you'll be released and you'll get your money back as long as you show up for all your court dates in Burnett County.
If your richest
Or
relative
you can go
shows
to a
up,
bail bond company. They'll often charge around 10%, which would be around 500. They don't have to charge 10%. It's up to you to just find the cheapest bondsman you can find. The third option you have is to hire a lawyer, and a lawyer can try to convince the Burnett County judge to do a personal bond on your case.
Okay, well, I don't have any money and I don't have anybody to call.
oh
Well,
no!
if you don't bond out, then Burnett County has 10 days to come pick you up. If they don't pick you up in 10 days, you'll automatically be released with a court date. They're right down the street though, so they
he
won't
could be
take-
friends with the other guy, Creed. I mean, they're
Well,
both
they can
friendless.
If you don't bond out, you'll stay here until Burnett County comes pick you up, as long as they do that in the next 10 days.
Has anybody been notified? Any member of my family? Does anybody know I'm here?
I don't know. I can tell you that when you
Anybody
go
know
back
I'm
to
here?
your cell, you're
You
gonna
should
have
call
an
my mom.
opportunity to use a phone to call whoever you can.
Yeah, I just don't know how I got here.
You don't know how you got here last night? Okay,
That
well,
might be a
I don't-
problem
I don't
all
either,
unto
'cause
itself.
This isn't a
I
police
get it,
report
yeah.
that tells me, because this is a warrant out of Burnett County, so I don't know. All right, good luck.
Is
All right,
anybody
Jay
coming,
Davidson.
Mom?
He's not here for medical reasons? Okay. All right, well, we'll have to reset him.
Your Honor, if we could discuss his case last, I think we
Yeah.
can solve it with just us.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Casto, I'll take your input on that as well, but we'll deal with that
That's
later.
possible, Your Honor, if we could discuss it last.
Okay, that is no problem. All right, then the first Superior Court only case I have is going to be position number 4, Mr. Coles.
Judge Taylor seems like a sweetheart in this position. They're normally not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, she's going easy on them.
All right, good
Taking it
afternoon,
easy.
Mr. Coles. You are here on case number
I'm here to the,
2023-020-247, charging you with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Mr. Casto, have you had an opportunity to go over the charges with your client?
I have, Your Honor. That can be a standing waiver for all my clients today.
All right, thank you. And because of your criminal history, I'm not able to set a bond in this case, so it'll have to be before a Superior Court judge. So your attorneys will be following up with you about filing that motion in Superior Court. And that's all we'll be able to do for you today.
well, glad you made it, Kay.
K, well on to 1K on her channel.
Nice.
All right, the next case that I have is going to be
Who's
Mr.
that?
Wilson, position number 24.
Come on up, Wilson.
I see Mad
All right,
Irishman
and good
mention
afternoon, Ms.
Tech 9. Remember when
Ayers. Have
Bishop
you,
interviewed
had
Tech
a
9 on
chance
his
to go
bus?
over the warrants with Mr.
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes, y'all.
All right, and you waive me reading them?
Yes, and it will be a standing waiver for all of them.
All right, thank you. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Wilson. You are here in case number DEC 23-00565, charging you with 1 count of aggravated assault. Because you've been convicted of hijacking, I'm not able to set a bond in your
Hijacking?
case. So your attorneys will be following up with you about filing a motion for bond in Superior Court.
We don't hear that too
And that'll be all
often.
we can help you with today.
No, what classifies as hijacking and
I'm
not
sorry?
theft, I wonder?
What did you say, Mr. Wilson?
He said file a motion for what? I told him a
Oh, the motion for bond, because I can't set a bond in your case. So your attorneys will be filing a motion in front of the judge that can set a bond.
That's what I instantly thought. But
And then position number
it's an act
25,
of
Mr.
unlawfully
Butts.
seizing an aircraft, vehicle, or a ship is what hijacking means. So it could be a car.
Or maybe a ship.
Butts, you are here on case number 23-015935, charging you with trafficking in methamphetamine or amphetamine. Your attorney's gone over the charges with you, and because of that charge, I'm not able to set a bond, so your attorney will be following up with you about
Thank you.
filing a motion in Superior Court. All right, and that's all
Make
we
sure to
can
be
do for you
careful when
today.
you ship your pants
And then it is my understanding that we've got some consent
with a P.
cases, so I will take those next.
And Your Honor, I just wanted to announce for the court, we also will be willing to consent on position number 8. I just wasn't able to get that to Ms. Trin early enough.
Okay. I will mark it as a consent and you will fill me in on the details. So we'll start though with, well, I guess we could start with that position. I hadn't called anybody yet. So
Good to see
I
RLS.
apologize for having to ruffle my papers a million times, but we've got quite a few pages on this calendar.
She would be a nice
So,
grandma to have.
Starting with position number 8
Oh, you're very
will
excused.
be Ms. Henderson.
Courtney, good God. Windy City Bobby?
All right.
The
Good
Bobby.
afternoon, Ms. Henderson. I'm getting you pulled up in my system here.
Hello, Presley.
You are here on case number 23-016076, charging you with theft by shoplifting. And your attorney's gone over that charge with you and has reached an agreement with the prosecutor. And I'm going to hear from him what that agreement is. And I will note for the record in terms of criminal history that all you have is 1 arrest cycle, which is pending. That is a shoplifting, looks like less than a week ago or almost exactly a week ago. Two counts of that.
Tell us about your ties to the community, please, Jared.
So, Your Honor, we've reached a consent for a $2,000 bond with a couple conditions that I'll let Ms. Trin go over. Your Honor, Miss Henderson is only 18 years old. She is a young woman. She is a lifelong Georgia resident with strong ties here. She's currently living with her mother at an address in Atlanta. She also has an aunt who she's very close to and whom I've spoken with earlier this morning. Your Honor, Miss Henderson, she made it to the 11th grade and she's been trying to get into a GED program recently. She's hopeful that she'll be able to do that soon. We would just ask Your Honor to honor this agreement just based on her lack of felony history and her age and family support.
Way to go, school
All
to
right,
the 11th grade and then
obviously I am
What a strategy.
concerned if somebody's been out on bond for a week and
that's
it's a pretty substantial charge. It looks like there was about 20, almost 3,000, just barely under $3,000 worth of perfumes alleged to have been taken in this. So I do have concerns.
$3,000 worth of perfume
only other
in
prior.
Atlanta. We
So,
call those smell good.
Ms. Trin, let me hear from you. What are the terms?
How much them
that you
smell
agreed
goods
to with the
is?
state? I mean, with
Yeah.
the defense.
Yes, Your Honor. So I am recommending a financial bond of $2,000 with the special condition of do not return to Ulta, which is the store where this offense
Ulta.
allegedly occurred, and no contact with her co-defendant, who is position 16 on this case, Your Honor. Given the amount that was alleged, I tried to match a bond that was close to the amount that was allegedly taken.
Who doesn't
in
love
consideration
Mambo?
along with her minimal criminal history, Your Honor. I also had concerns since it appears she was just released from Fulton County on February 18th, and she was released on a UJR.
true.
So
It could
given
be a
those
couple
facts, Your
dollars.
Honor, I did feel like a financial bond was appropriate in this case.
What's the highest?
All right, Ms.
Price
Henderson, I
bottle
still
of
think this bond is
perfume
a
at
little bit
Ulta.
low,
You can
but
get a
I will
couple
go
$100
along with it. I will set your bond at $2,000. I will order you not to go to any Ulta in DeKalb County, and you are not to have any contact with your co-defendant.
Oh yeah,
Do
easy.
you understand those requirements? And you realize how bad that looks, that you just got out of jail for this and you just got arrested for it again. So let's not make this a pattern. Let's learn
She really
to
loves a
follow
nice
the pattern you
scent.
did when you started, which was no arrests.
Roasted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Creed, do they have the problem? See, the Ulta here in my town has had an issue with like people go and steal their garbage, because when somebody returns makeup or whatever, they don't send it to you to sell. They just throw it in the garbage.
Because it's always because it's all over the internet.
And people, we actually had a lady get killed here about 2 years ago because she climbed into the garbage at Ulta and didn't realize it had an automatic compactor on it and squished her while she was busy trying to steal makeup to turn around and sell on Marketplace. So be careful out there.
Finish it up. All right, Miss Palmer, if you can come forward, please. Thank
Palmer's
you.
old lady.
Yeah. How's that nose doing?
Ms. Palmer, you are also charged in case number 23-016076 with theft by shoplifting. And while you don't have any convictions, you have pending felony shoplifting from June of 22, felony shoplifting from November of 22. You're out on bond also, in addition to those two, from January of 23 for an aggravated assault and reckless conduct, and also in January of 23, 2 more felony shopliftings. So those are all pending cases.
She's really bad at it
you
too.
don't have any
Guys, of course, don't forget to get your
convictions, I
Tootsie
do
Rolls
also
this
have to
weekend, but also
assess your risk
one of the
to
best
reoffend,
clothes
risk to
money
the
can buy.
community while on bond, and the fact that there's a violent charge that's pending as well is concerning. So, Mr. Casto, let me hear from you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Palmer is also very young, only 19 years old. She is a lifelong Georgia resident living in Austell with her mother and her sister. So she does have family support. Your Honor, Ms. Palmer is employed. She does hair and nails. She's been doing that for about 2 years. She also was just recently hired at Six Flags She has a job there that she'll be starting on the 4th. So she's hopeful that she'll be out of custody by then.
Come on.
Your Honor, we understand the other recent cases. Regardless, it looks like she doesn't have any convictions. So we're asking for a slightly higher bond of $3,000, and we'd have no objection to the same conditions.
All right. And what's the state's position?
Your Honor, we're asking that you deny bond due to her criminal history. She does appear to be a risk to reoffend, Your Honor. In addition, she was just released on February 3rd, 2023 from Gwinnett County for 2 counts of felony theft by shoplifting on an $11,400 bond and still committed this, or still allegedly committed this offense.
He's another one just like the last one.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks after.
Terrible at stealing.
All right. While it is unusual for me to deny bond on a shoplifting charge,
Georgia.
I do find that based on all of the facts and circumstances and your pending criminal history, where you already have 2 pending cases, one
Should
of
we
which is
stole
violent,
everything
and
at
one of
Six
which
Flags
is
here soon.
the same as this, and you're out on $11,500 bond
Watch
and
out.
have these allegations against you again, I do think it's appropriate to deny bond at this time. And based on that, I will deny bond, but your attorneys will be able to file a motion for bond in Superior Court. Just means you're
Hag,
not
you just
getting
made my
anything.
Friday just that much better. Thank you.
Hallelujah, everybody. Hallelujah. Thank you, Hag. Been a
Right,
while.
and then finishing up on the consents.
Creed,
Next
I've got
position
some
number 14.
Amarillo
Mhm.
Amarillo
Which is gonna
doozies
be,
over here if you want to jump to them at any point in time.
Curious.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Amarillo,
I'll
everybody.
release you to appear by 2 p.m. on the day after your release. However, like I said at the
Valerie.
beginning,
Val,
if you come in
hurry.
to the window and pay that before court at 2, you don't have to stay for court at 2. If you pay that $75, you would just be done. But if you can't or you don't, just make sure you're here by about 1:45 to check in for that 2 p.m. court. So if you get out today, we'll see you on Monday.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
No, sir.
Really?
All right, deputy will give you a map and we'll see you Monday or the day after you get out, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Always a packed house. I don't think we've ever had to use those extra chairs to the side there.
That's true. Yeah.
Very interesting
Mr.
hairdo on the lady in
Williams?
the back row.
Oh, it almost blended in with the door.
Get yours set out here. All right,
Magistrate
Mr. Williams, it looks
Bruce
like
Pritchard.
your oldest one was from May 29th, 2021. That was a speeding in a construction zone.
Oh,
And then you also, from
Son of a
February
bitch.
9th, have no seatbelt and driving with an invalid license.
Life without
You-
parole.
Your options are you can plead guilty or no contest. I would find you guilty. I would give you a day credit on the speeding. That would leave you, it's $584. So with your day credit, that would leave you $434. And on the no seatbelt, that's $234. So with your credit, that would leave you $84.
$234 for no
Driving with a
seatbelt.
license
In
invalid is
licking, it's like
$469.
$20.
That would leave you $319. That leaves you a total of $837
Wow.
after you're given credit. So
Bloody
that's if
sheepdog
you
around
plead
Amarillo.
guilty or no contest, or you can plead not guilty if you want to have a trial or talk to an attorney. What do you want to do?
Be guilty.
Okay. On the,
He
so
did
to
it.
the speeding back in May of 2021, you plead guilty to that?
Correct.
Okay. And I'll accept your plea of guilty. Final court costs are $584. I will give you $150 credit. I will release you on that charge to appear here by 2 p.m. the day after your release. On no seatbelt, you plead guilty to that?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'll accept that plea, find you
Makes me
guilty.
sneeze.
That is $234. I'll give you $150
He's
credit.
never
That
going to get a
leaves you
good job again after
$84.
these charges hit.
Never
the
gonna
books.
get it. Never gonna get it.
Here by 2 p.m. And the driving with an invalid license, guilty to that? Is that okay, sir?
Ah,
I'll accept that plea of guilty. I'll find you guilty. That's
hate to see a young man like him turn to a life
I'll
of
give you
crime.
$150 credit. That leaves you $319.
Carol, I
And
saw
you'll
your
be
message
released
about
here.
not
So
getting your
you've
mail.
heard me
Did you
obviously
ever
give
notice
the
there's like
same
18,000 feet
If
of
you get
snow
out today,
outside your
we'll see
house?
you Monday. If you check in about 1:30 for that 2 p.m. court, if you don't get out today, then whenever you get out, we'll see you that next business day. Your total,
I'm sure that mail
looks
runs
like
really
it's
good with 17 feet of
837.
snow.
So
Sure.
I don't know if you have $837. If you do, you're welcome to come to the cashier's window and pay that, and you wouldn't have to appear in court. But otherwise, we'll see you for that 2 p.m. court the day after you're released to set up a payment plan or whatever it is you need to do. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
I'm
Mr.
betting
Williams.
you
Any
stay
questions
in
for me?
Jail.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Stay in
Thank
jail,
you.
get credit.
Yeah, get that credit, man. Run it down. Reno.
Ms. Masterson.
Oh, Masterson. What a great last name. Let's see what she did.
Hello, Ms. Masterson.
Oh God, up here. She's a beaut, Clark.
She is a hottie.
Up here. Okay.
She's got
So
great
you
hair.
have, I think 5.
Yes.
From let's see,
5 charges.
November 8th of 2022, you got a expired driver's license and a no insurance ticket. In July of 2022, on July 13th, you got speeding, 51 and a 35. And August 29th of 2022, you got failed to display driver's license and no insurance. So the same as those first 2 that I named. You have the same options. You can plead guilty. I would give you a 1 day credit.
Very casual, Reno. Very casual.
On each of those, and then release you to appear. You can also plead not guilty if you want to have time to talk to an attorney or set it for trial. What do you want to do, Ms. Masterson?
I'm guilty.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Do you want to plead guilty to each of those charges that I've read to you? Okay. Give me just a minute.
Wasn't she, didn't she play the,
on the expired driver's license from
the
November
triangle
2022? I'll find you guilty.
in
That's
the band
260. I will
Thompson
give you
Twins back in the day?
$150 credit. That will leave you $110 on the no insurance. I'll find you guilty. That's $400. I'll give you the $150 credit.
I have a question.
Give me
Hey,
just
Duh.
a minute. Let me do this, and then I'll answer whatever question you have.
She got tattoos on the side of her head like she's a
$150 credit. That leaves you $250.
like a female Bam Bam Bigelow.
On
Oh yeah,
speeding from July 13th. On your
Fox
plea of
and
guilty,
Socks.
I will find you guilty.
Hot women do that all the time.
27. I will give you $150
Matching hair,
credit.
bra, downstairs.
Release you to it here. And on the violations from August 2022, the failed display driver's license. On your plea of guilty, I'll find you guilty. That's $260. I'll give you.
While he's finding her
$150
guilty,
credit.
find us guilty
That would
and give
leave
us a like.
110.
We'd appreciate that a lot.
And on the no insurance, I'll find you guilty on
Oh,
your plea.
cheers to
That's
you.
$400, and I'll give you $150 credit. What's your question?
I have a probation violation. It's deferred. Will I be able to bond out on that? Or will I get transferred to Potter County?
Well, if I'm releasing you on these, and that's the only thing you have left, then they would transfer you to Potter. If you are wanting to sit these out instead of being released, then you can voluntarily remand yourself on these to go ahead and take care of that amount, which I believe is $897 after you've been given credit. So that would be about 6 days. If you'd rather do that, I can mark off.
I just don't want to go to Potter County. I have the bond.
No, they
for
don't do
my-
that. He doesn't. at
For
least.
my deferred probation. Like I have the bond for that, you know? You see what I'm saying? I just don't want to get transferred to Potter County.
Have you
But
posted bond for that?
No, I mean, I don't know. I've never been in trouble like this. Well, I've been in trouble, but like I haven't been in trouble forever, so I don't know what to do. I know I'm on deferred probation and I can bond out, but can I do that from here?
That's a good question to ask at the jail. I don't have anything to do with or any control over your probation violation. I see that you have that on a possession of a controlled substance that's out of Potter County. I would tell you, if I release you on these and you haven't posted bond, then yes, they will transfer you to Potter County.
Pretty
as
damn
far as
red.
if you can post bond,
Okay, so
there,
if
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
But as far as on our cases,
yes, she does.
Are you wanting me to release you for a hearing, or would you
Sweet
rather just sit this out?
young angel.
I want to get my bond posted first. I don't know what to do. I need to get my bond posted. Like they've been waiting for me to go to Raymond. They didn't know what to do.
All mixed up,
Well,
don't know what to do.
Like I said, I think it would take you about 6 days to sit these out. So if you want to do that, you can. Otherwise, I'll order you to be released, and you'll appear here whatever day, the day after you're released from jail.
Terrible.
So that would be really whenever you're released on that probation violation.
Well, you got
I
me.
don't
I
know
just
what
coughed.
to
I
do.
thought I had the mic
Honestly,
up.
I don't know what to do. I know I'm just trying to get out to my dog and stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
I have the money. I just don't know what to do.
Well, then I'm just going to
It's a
leave this as
huge
ordering you to be released.
You don't care about
Okay.
the dog, does
And
he?
you can post bond if you're on deferred. You can post bond on your probation violation. And whenever
carpet
you
bed
do
for
get
Drake.
out, once you post bond on that, make sure you're here by 2 p.m. the day after your release,
Okay.
so we can work out setting up a payment plan on those. Otherwise, another capious warrants will issue, and you'll find yourself right back in there.
No, I have the money for them too. I have the money for all of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I have my tax return. I'm just waiting for it to hit my account. But I have
Oh.
somebody that's gonna
Tax
put the
return
money
creep.
Okay.
to get me,
Already?
I
So
got money. I'm gonna
You
pay
click
it.
no?
okay. So
wait for it to
just
hit the
remember,
account,
you can
baby.
always come to the
No.
cashier window, pay that amount in full, and you wouldn't have to show up for court at 2 p.m. But otherwise, we'll see you.
Nah, very quickly. I just wanted to see the Ebony here. She's laying real weird in the living room, man. I don't
She's
know
got the
what that-
smallest couch I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Her head rests beautifully on it, and her
I mean, I guess if I was armless, I would somewhat.
that coffee table has to be uncomfortable.
Well, if
I
you
mean,
don't have a whole arm though, and you just lay on a coffee table like this, it's not that bad, I guess. Oh, she has an arm.
oh, there it is. It's just
Oh.
morphing in it. She's putting it under the couch and brings it back out.
Is that the basement's house? Because it's been a while since we've been there.
I don't know, but that's the smallest door I've ever seen with
Is
Miss
George-
Jordan.
George getting ready to beat somebody's ass. Can we?
She's
let's just
waiting.
see real quick. What's
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and then then
Oh.
the judge just went away. We'll come back.
Municipal court, and you didn't show up. Why not?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good answer.
And
Good answer. Good
so
answer.
You owe a total of 1117. You got arrested, so you have a day credit. So you have 1117.
You don't care about money. She's waiting for it to hit the count.
Get that tax return coming back,
real
baby.
quick.
15 grand.
1117 minus this day leaves you 967 owing on these. And
Really a weird one. to
let's see.
have.
So we haven't seen you since August. So about 6 months, getting almost 7 months. What have you been doing?
I've just been at home.
What you been up to, girl?
Trying to stay out of the way.
Good
everything,
answer.
so.
Good answer.
Been working?
I tried, but I didn't get my ID out in time.
Wait, what?
ID out.
How do you support yourself? You married?
With these
No.
legs, baby. These legs.
How do you support yourself?
I stay with my mom. I help my mom at her business.
She pay you?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you just messed up. She said no. You could have been indigent.
How long have you been working for her?
We opened in January. No, was it December or January? We opened her little business over at the flea market. We work on the weekends.
Yeah.
And then I help her like clean houses and stuff.
I ain't never
Okay.
seen her at the flea market.
Why didn't you ever come back? Even if you didn't come back on the 15th, why didn't you come over here? You knew that you owed that
Girl,
money.
why
Why
you
didn't
come
you
see me?
set up a plan to take care of it?
Girl, you know I was here for you.
And doing all that with her and helping her out.
Oh, thank you.
Helping.
All right.
A lot
Well,
of helping.
I am going to find that you're not indigent, that you failed to make a good faith effort to discharge your fine and costs. You didn't
Is
even
she
you didn't come
not?
talk to us about anything. I'll order you
How's that job now?
remanded and continued in custody by the chief of police until
You didn't
that
even
amount
ask
is
her how much
paid.
money she made.
Like I said, you
Nothing.
owe
Here, he was going to do that. Just 'cause he didn't show up.
$967. So they'll keep you in
All he
custody
needed her to
until
hear
that
was
is
work.
satisfied, or if somebody wants to come pay that 967 or even part of that 967, they can do so, and that'll reduce the number of days that you'll be there to satisfy
Yeah, she ain't
that.
getting
Okay.
out. She's just going to serve her
Do you have any
time.
questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Creed, I'm getting word in my ear that there's still another contestant, but we're having technical issues with them. Maybe the bailiff will be able to clear that up. I see him coming
Judge, on
in
this
right
next
now.
one, we'll have to zoom you down from the cell because he's very mental and is having a tough time coming out of the cell. So,
Oh, well, this
Is
should be fun.
he able to understand what we're talking about?
well, they're trying to get him dressed, but he keeps putting his pants on his head, and they can't get his clothes on him. He's not understanding anything. He just
I don't know if he's still high or this is his new normal. I don't know. We've had
It's a
him
new
before and he's
normal.
never been like this.
Okay, I guess we'll give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
give it a shot.
Okay.
Oh my
Take
God.
us downstairs or upstairs, whichever one we need to go. Okay, this should be interesting. He's very mental. He's putting his pants on his head. We don't know if he's high or if it's new normal.
Well, we
Is he
did
gonna-
see that one guy pretending. Remember that?
Yeah.
The dude was pretending that he was mental.
Is he going to take this camera off the wall or what are we doing?
Yeah, we're just going to carry it down the
Okay.
way. We're going IRL, baby.
Or he's pushing like the old cart that would have the TV and VCR on it.
Yeah, like in school.
Like in school. Oh, we're going to Judge Henderson. Let's see here.
I'll tell you what, while they go black.
Go ahead. They're
we can just
connecting.
watch,
Go ahead.
A couple minutes, Stansbury's gets in there. While they get the slightly mental dude ready.
Did they take you to see the magistrate in the common pleas court today?
No. You didn't get charged with any felonies.
So, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's a good day. Day without getting indicted is a good day.
Kids, mama tried. Thousands per kid.
Yeah, like a
That's
lot.
what you gotta do, yeah.
Use your AK.
Don't make any money, have a lot of kids, and you can get a huge return.
Let me know when they come back from black and we can jump over there. Always good
Right
to hear
now-
Stu's voice.
Right now, Creed, we're just walking.
Yeah. All right, let's-
Toting
yeah,
the
let's-
camera.
Oh, we really are just walking down the hallway to him. Okay. All right. Okay.
That's a very beautiful crotch shot we're getting here on the bulge.
Turning me on.
I'll keep an eye on this, but we'll go back to looking until I've got more information.
Oh, well. So,
Or not.
do you have any questions?
Guys in the truck double clicking.
No, sir. All right. Well, if they're not going to indict you, it looks like you should be getting out today. Don't hold me to that. And if it takes a little while, don't take it out on the folks at the jail. But according to what she's telling me and what I see here, it looks like you should be released. Okay? Thank you.
There's a lot.
All right. Next we have Bradley Martin.
I kind of wish we could have this shot right
Good afternoon,
here
sir. Are you Mr. Martin?
through all of it.
All right, Mr. Martin, you also have two different cases, one a criminal matter and the other one a traffic
That's me, bro.
The criminal matter alleges possession of marijuana and possession of marijuana drug paraphernalia. Those are both minor misdemeanors, each carry maximum penalties of a $150 fine. The traffic case, you were charged with operating a vehicle while impaired by either drugs and or alcohol, that you failed to obey a traffic control device, and that you stayed or you went outside the marked lanes of the roadway. So those are the charges on the traffic. Obviously, they're much
Driving
more
that pickup
serious.
truck,
than the OVI is.
we got
So how do you want to plead to the traffic stuff?
I did swerve out of the lane. I'll plead guilty for that, but I was not driving while intoxicated.
All right.
I plead not guilty for that.
He was
All right.
drunk
What's your
when he
address?
Shows his hairstyle. That much we know.
714.
neck
Water
like a
Drive,
giraffe.
City and state?
Blacklit, Ohio.
And you're 18 years old?
Yes, sir.
You still in high school or did you graduate?
I'm still in high school.
And where do you go to high school?
Missing a day of
Gahanna
school.
Lincoln High School.
All right. You on schedule to graduate?
Yes, sir.
Regulus is stupid.
You know what you're going to do after graduation?
Trade school.
Trade school?
Yeah, electrical.
Okay. Well, good.
He's got a plan, Mikey.
All you need these days, Creed, just a plan. Just real quick, gonna just show you guys that we're still going, still moving. Now we're looking at. He needs a new pair of pants. I feel like that threadbare right there could be a problem. Oh, getting a little something. Okay, we'll go back to Stansbury. As soon as we have our guy in our sights, I'll let you know, but we're still on the move.
Hell yeah, but I want to plead not guilty for having weed because I don't remember having any.
Okay.
He wants to peed.
No weed, just the paraphernalia.
I know there was paraphernalia.
This kid's never tried weed. He just likes to collect the pipes. Still looking, Creed, by the way. We're getting a great gut shot right there. Good look at this guy.
Not guilty on your behalf across the board. If you decide you want to change your pleas to some or all of them later on, you can do that. But this just keeps a cleaner playing field, as it were. Now, these cases are not what we would call consolidated, meaning joined together, although they likely will be at some point. But you may be getting notices for 2 different court dates because there are 2 different cases. So it's important you pay close attention to the case number on there. You're eligible to ask the court to appoint an attorney to represent you on the OVI, but not on the marijuana charges. But if you get a lawyer for the other one, chances are probably pretty good they'll help you out with the minor misdemeanors. Either way, the cases get randomly assigned to a judge set for trial. You will be notified by mail of when that's going to be. So I think you gave me your address. It's the Streamwater Drive, correct?
Yes, Streamwater Drive.
Tank.
Very well. So, Mr. Keep screwing it up. Mr. Martin, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Then you may go with the officer. Thank you.
All right, you have a good one.
You do the
Thank
same.
you.
Okay.
Creed, I'm sorry, but we're at A1A.
Beechwood Avenue?
No,
Beachfront
this would appear to be where our guy is, not our guy that's not here right now, but a different our guy. Well, can we see him? Oh, whoa.
Are we in the cell or
he's trying to learn how to unmute it, I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Judge.
There he is.
Well, at least he's got pants on.
I just stay right there. Mr. G, how are you today?
Mr. G?
I'm Judge Henderson. I'm sorry, I'm Judge Henderson here at the municipal court. And I was hoping to talk to you about these Class C violations that you have. Are you able to talk about those?
Huh?
I could not. I don't know if you said anything. I couldn't hear you.
Can you say something? Can you talk to the judge?
Yeah, Judge, we're not getting anything from you. It's just mumbling. Okay.
And they're shooting it like Mikey does with the boxes.
I'll probably do a 1622 order, and then maybe we can also try again.
It's going up on TikTok later.
Tomorrow. Okay. So, all right. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Wow. Didn't go as well as we'd hoped with that guy. I see the point.
As I was saying, minimums are at least $375 fine, 1-year license suspension, and at least 3 days in jail, or
They're still talking. I'm sorry. Say it one more time, please.
well, I tell you what, Sue, can you ask the gentleman to finish their conversation after we're finished here on screen?
Yes, they're taking all these people out. That's why.
Phone, Sue.
Are you going to be entering pleas of not guilty, Miss Tuttle?
Yes, sir, I am.
What's your address?
1508 Euclid Avenue, Zanesville, Ohio, 43701.
Are you employed?
Yes, but I was currently on break.
Okay.
Or on break because I was stabbed in the face by my neighbor.
Okay. Are they prosecuting him?
They put him
on a no contact order. However, he's still out.
Okay, so they did file charges. It's just that they're still pending, and he was released apparently.
Yes.
All right. Well, make sure that you have your phone at all times so you can call 911 if necessary. And if I were you, I wouldn't walk outside my house by myself. So
That's why I try to get away, Your Honor.
Okay.
And stay out of Zanesville because he
Yeah,
lacked
that's pretty serious.
solution.
Yeah, that's very serious. Well,
And
Miss
I
Tuttle.
had three arteries in my neck replaced from here all the way down to here.
Well, hopefully you're in touch with the appropriate authorities as well as treatment providers so that you can take care of yourself.
Arteries.
I'm going to release you on your own recognizance today, which just means you're going to sign some bond paperwork promising to show up for future court dates. We'll send those notices by mail to you, so make sure your address is correct on your bond. And it's wherever you want it to go. It doesn't have to be like if you're going to be staying someplace else to be safe, but you're okay with your mail going there, you can put that address down. But you can also track your own case online, okay?
And I just want to let you know that they put the court date as April 20th
I think that's the wrong carrier.
for the hearing.
Well, they put on a summons that you were to you were to appear on March the 1st for an arraignment, but you don't have to do that because that's what we're doing right now. Okay.
Right. I was just saying for the other court date for me being stabbed multiple times.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. All right. You had me confused there. I thought you were talking about this case. Well, you're eligible to ask the court to appoint an attorney to represent you, which we will do if you qualify based on your income and your expenses. If you're not working right now, then you're probably very likely going to qualify. Excuse me. You can get the address. You can get the application for a court-appointed attorney at the jail, but since you're being released, it'll be your job to get it turned in. Do you understand?
Yeah, so they will give me a piece of paper.
You have to ask for the application form, which they'll freely give to you. You're going to be signing off on some bond paperwork after they finish processing everybody through today, and you should be released. But that's on your promise to come back for future court dates. All right?
Okay.
All right. Ms. Tuttle, you may go with the officer. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you.
I mean, I know it's a different character, but
All right.
it's pretty close.
Christine Sheridan?
Yes, it's Dr. Cheriton. I'm a psychologist.
All right, doctor.
Yes.
You understand your rights in court today?
Pardon?
You understand your rights in court today?
You can explain them to me because I don't think I know because I haven't done anything wrong.
Licken's bringing it today,
did you watch the video presentation?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Why didn't you watch the video presentation?
Because I'm a doctor.
Because I'm not going to sign that I can get a misdemeanor when I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay. Well, did you want to enter a plea of not guilty to this charge then?
Yes.
All right. Well, just to have it read into the record for purposes of a record, the Patasko Police Department alleged that on or about February the 23rd of this year within the city of Pataskland in Licking County, Ohio, that you, while voluntarily intoxicated in a public place or in the presence of two or more persons, engaged in conduct likely to be offensive or to cause inconvenience, annoyance, or alarm to persons of ordinary sensibilities, which conduct the offender, if she were not intoxicated, should know is likely to have that effect on others after being advised to desist. Otherwise, it's commonly known as disorderly conduct persisting. It is a fourth-degree misdemeanor under Ohio law. That level of offense carries maximum penalties of up to 30 days in jail and up to a $250 fine, as well as court costs. So you want to enter a plea of not guilty, correct?
Correct. Not guilty. Correct.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, not guilty. Yeah.
And can you confirm your address for me, please?
4151 Main Street, Southwest Pataskala, 43062.
But there is the directional modifier, the southwest.
Yes, correct.
All right. Let me take a quick look at the file, and we're going to address your bond. All right.
I don't believe I should have a bond because I'm not guilty.
Oh. We'll take that into consideration. Doctor. Hey, is that the best way to come out? Like swinging with I'm a doctor?
No, unless you're just obviously nutty. She did say she was a psychologist, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's definitely psycho. Allegedly.
I've been here since 10:30 last night.
Oh, we got a crier. Is that the slow girl all of a sudden talking just fine and quick?
Maybe.
All right, so doctor, everybody gets a bond, even the innocent ones. It'll be a recognizance bond in this case. What that means is you're going to sign some paperwork down there promising to show up for future court dates. Until and unless an attorney becomes involved in the case on your behalf, all notices will go directly to you at the address that's on that bond. So make sure it's the address where you want it to go. You have.
Can I interrupt you, sir? Can I interrupt you, Judge?
I think you just did.
I have an attorney, and I was denied the right to contact my attorney here.
Well, you're going to be released here shortly anyway, so you can contact them to your heart's content.
Okay, I'd rather my attorney handle it than me. That's why I have an attorney.
Sure. I mean, you're going to have to appear in court again. You realize that, right?
Okay, so I can contact my attorney and see if my attorney wants to appear in court with me, or at least advise me.
Absolutely. You can. I mean,
Appear.
I don't know whether you've got somebody on permanent retainer or whether you've got somebody in mind that you would like to hire. That's entirely up to you.
No, I can tell you it's Braden Blumenstiel. It's Braden, Braden, and then Blumenstiel is Blumstiel. He's my attorney that I was not allowed to contact here.
Okay.
And I was told I couldn't because I didn't know his phone number by memory, and no one will look it up for me.
Well, as I said, you'll be released shortly, and you can contact him at your convenience. But until he puts in a formal notice of appearance on your behalf, the court's going to consider you not being represented, and so you're going to want to make sure that you take care of that. So any other questions today, doctor?
Yes, my attorney will be in on Monday. Is that sufficient if I talk to my attorney on Monday and get you a letter or something like that?
Well, you're going to want to talk to the lawyer. You guys will discuss whether or not you're going to hire him to handle this matter for you.
No, he's already hired. He is my attorney.
Yeah, so he'll have to file the necessary paperwork with the court, informing the court officially that he's your counsel of record. And at that point, all future notices will go through the attorney. Okay?
Well, then what should I do for today?
Well, you're being released today. You don't have to do anything today.
Okay, so just go home, and then what do I do with this paperwork?
Keep it.
Shove it up your ass.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay, awesome.
All right, doctor, you may go with the officer.
Thank you, Judge Stanbury, right? Did I say your name right?
Stanbury.
What's that?
Thank you.
Stanbury.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, Sue.
Hey,
You're
it's
going to have to
days
do
like
this
these-
on Monday.
No, days like these makes me realize why I decided to retire at the end of this year.
Oh no, Sue.
Yeah, well, you're not allowed to go anywhere until I do, and I got a number of years left, Sue.
I am going at the end of this year.
We'll see.
All right, thank you.
See you Monday.
We'll see. Stanbury.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I hate to see
when I
Sue
call your name, please come
go.
up here to the front. If you're here, well, I'll need at that point.
She's just messing around, Mikey. My God, that was great. Can I interrupt? Well, it seems like you already did. And then he called her doctor. He did it. He did it. God, that's great.
And then she called him Sandsburn or something.
Stanbury. Something, yeah, something.
Bernie. Stanza
Love
Bernie.
that. What do you want to do? Do you want to see? We want to watch a couple of these?
Let's see how many dog-related incidents we have here, because in licking, you never know.
That's true.
While he's giving those directions, make sure you like this video. Do us a favor. We'd appreciate that. Yeah, don't go Sue.
Oh,
We
I couldn't
start that
imagine.
hashtag don't go Sue.
As soon as we can get a hold of her after she if she does get done, I want her to the one question I need to ask her is, why do you hate what's up with you and Judge George?
Yeah, I don't think it's her. I think maybe it's mutual. I don't know. Maybe because she's buds with Stansberry. Maybe he don't like Stansberry.
Do you think maybe Stansberry and Judge George don't get
Yeah,
along?
that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's a thing between Stansberry and George where they don't meet eye to eye, and because Sue's his girl, he just gives her the old cold shoulder.
Hector, can you imagine having to deal with those people every single day? She does hand in hand every single day.
Oh, how many times do you think that lady told Sue she was a doctor?
I just love that he called the doctor. By the way, Judge Stansberry just giving out directions as he does every day when we transition from the podium to the church pews. Sometimes these can be good, and sometimes just a bunch of people getting in trouble for not having their dog on a leash or unlicensed dogs. But I'm all right with Judge George. Obviously runs a little different. I mean, it's like night and day between the two, but Stansbury definitely my fave over there.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. You understand your rights in court today?
Yes.
And did you receive a copy of the two complaints?
Yes.
Did you read them? You understand what it is you've been charged with?
Yes.
Looks like we've got one count of criminal damaging. And by the way, these are all alleged to have occurred on January the 2nd of this year out in Pataskala. And then we got trespass. So the criminal damaging, M2, up to 90 days jail, up to $750 fine, the possibility of an order of restitution being issued. The trespass is an M4. It's up to 30 days, $250 fine. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay. What's your address?
It's 13499 Cable.
Okay.
Road.
Yeah, and you don't have to tell me why you're pleading not guilty.
Okay.
It's your American-born right to plead not guilty. It's everybody's right to deny doing something bad that they say you did.
He's got like 3 haircuts on the back.
All right, so criminal damaging and trespass. Are you employed?
This kid wants to do his hair.
A driver for Amazon.
Okay.
Oh, Amazon job.
Yeah, do you use your own vehicle? Use company van. Company van. All right.
Don't forget today, 4:05, Florida Friday. Sovereign Citizen making an appearance today, Creed.
Oh, good. So trigger warning.
Just giving everybody a heads up.
All right, you're going to be released on your own recognizance, notified by mail of your next court date. Any questions? All right, very well. You may go with the bailiff. Tracy Moore.
Tracy, oh Tracy, got a big old
Come on up,
backpack.
Miss Moore.
Tracy,
You understand your rights?
Backpack with her and big kind of radio.
something.
The one.
radio
That's the one. Did you receive a copy of your ticket?
I did.
Did you read it and do you understand what they charged you with?
Well, yeah, basically I came up on Buckeye Avenue. It was less than a block from my house and
Allegedly.
it's allegedly, and well, it was less than a block from my house, but it's a 3-way and I did slow down and he was clear back. But I mean,
Well, here's the deal.
but I know I want to thank you, first of all. I'm sorry for missing. Second, I should have did the amnesty program when you offered it to me. I don't know why I didn't, but I just want time to pay because I think by the beginning of next month I can have it all done.
Okay, well, let's back up a little
I
bit.
thought that was 2 men back there.
You've been
but
charged with driving while
I
under a
too.
license for which you're
Different
based upon
hairstyle.
your previous driving record and history. They're not alleging that you have at least 2 priors within 3 years before this happened. So that's an unclassified misdemeanor, carries no possible jail term. Okay, just a possibility of community service, fine, and a right to a suspension of your right to apply for a license of up to a year. None of the penalties are mandatory. Understand? I mean, I don't have to do any of that stuff.
Okay.
The right of way, that's a minor misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is a $150 fine. So how do you want to plead?
Just like a bad. I want to just say not guilty, and I just want time. I want to ask if I could have time to pay and get on a payment program for my fines.
Well,
I paid my B&B fines.
sure.
I'm trying to
Let's
get
let's do not guilty, please. Here, okay?
Since I said that, the lovers are separated now. Did you see that? They've stopped now.
Sure. What's your address?
249 Cambria.
Maybe they realize they're on camera now.
Right up next to each other.
Is she crying?
Well,
Look,
might
she's
be.
wiping her eyes.
Oh,
And
did
there
you
was
just
no accident.
tell her
right?
the news?
No, there
And you
was
keep
nobody
insurance
in
on your
Miles.
you keep insurance on your Chevy, right?
Yes.
She drove that Chevy to the levee, but Creed, that levee,
So
it
here's
was
what's gonna
dry,
happen. There'll be
baby.
randomly assigned set for trial.
Try.
You'll get notice by mail. You're not eligible to ask for court-appointed counsel because none of this carries any jail
Okay,
time.
okay.
All right, but you can hire one if you want. When you come back, if you want to change your pleas from not guilty to guilty or no contest, you can do that. You'll have a chance to talk to the prosecutor before the case gets called.
I
All
hope
right.
to have it all paid. Just,
All right. Well,
will I be set up on some kind of payment plan, or should I?
just you submit in writing what it
I
is
got
you're
a
asking
man
for.
bun alert in
All
the
right.
back row. by the
Okay.
way.
Any other questions today? Very well. You may go with the bailiff. Good luck.
She's got some of the blackest hair I've ever seen.
Corey Kearns Walker. Excuse me.
Got a bad cough.
Good afternoon, sir. You understand your rights?
Yes, sir, I do.
And did you receive a copy of the complaint?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you read it? Do you understand what it is they have charged you with?
Yes, sir, failure to comply dog with priors.
Yeah, so basically they're saying that you were either the owner, keeper, or harbor of a dog and failed to confine it. But they're also saying that you've also been convicted of that same offense before. And what that does is it serves to make this time more serious. So
Repeat offender,
it's a
lock
4th
them
degree
up.
misdemeanor. Technically, it carries up to 30 days in jail, up to a $250 fine.
Hit
How
him
do you
with
wanna
it.
plead?
Just do it.
Honestly, today, sir, I was actually hoping we could maybe move for a motion to dismiss the charge. I would like to provide you with a record of euthanasia for the animal.
Oh.
Where I can actually put him down. But also, I've never actually been charged before. Now, I will solely admit to you that he has escaped the house before years ago. And that was because when we first moved into our house in Lancaster, we had some of the new neighbor kids come over and they weren't aware of Zeke. And they accidentally left the screen door open and he got out. But I was never charged with
That
any
took a
sort
turn
of
for the
failure to
worse.
control or anything like today's charge.
Yeah, he pulled
With
the knock.
today's
we call it.
charge, again, I will fully admit he did get out. But I had lived in this house for about 10 months. I have my fence very, very, very secured with not only a full 90-gallon toter in front of the gate, logs, and a padlock. Somebody broke into my backyard, sir. And by the time I got off work at 5 o'clock,
Didn't realize the
it
gate
was
swung
nighttime
the other way.
outside, and I didn't see it, and I take full responsibility for that. But throughout the process, I have taken the right steps, what I feel is necessary to make sure that my dog never has an issue again, and I have actually put him down.
Yeah, he'll never have another issue.
So
I
again,
can
I was
assure you of
actually
that.
just hoping that maybe
Dog's on his best behavior
you could
now.
show me the love of just dismissing this charge because I will no longer have an issue with an animal again, especially this one because
he's dead.
He's not with us no longer.
Right. Well,
Trying to
I don't
laugh
have
about
the
a dead
authority
dog
to
by
just
the way
simply
you say it.
dismiss it on my own. Now, certainly the prosecution can, and you will have an opportunity to talk with them before.
And the dog
coming into
was
the courtroom
alleged to
at the
do
next
nothing
hearing,
but
which
get
will be the
out,
trial.
not attack
So,
anybody
you
or
want to
anything
plead
like
not
that.
guilty
Just
today?
that got out.
Talk to them.
Honestly, if that's how you feel I should proceed, yes. I guess I don't know how to handle it because I'm not guilty, if that makes sense, sir.
Well, but there's a difference, as you
That's
said.
called guilty.
You know,
That means you
prior
are
is
guilty.
an element of the offense, which means they would have to prove it by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. If you talk to them and maybe they can point out where they claim that you.
I think that dog's dead, so you
where
can
that
walk in
happened.
here and say this right now, to be
It
honest
looks
with
like
you.
they're
Yeah,
saying
that's it.
happened back in 2008.
Smear you, dog.
Yes, like I said,
Or 09. I can't tell.
It wouldn't even have been that long ago, sir. It would have been.
Oh no, it was like 2020.
Yeah,
He brought
yeah, it would have just
paperwork
been a couple years
showing
ago
the
when I
dog
bought my
was
house in
dead.
Lancaster.
All right. Well, still,
Also has
I mean, I'm not giving you, I
photos
can't
if
give you
you'd like
advice,
to.
but
Fair
I'm
enough.
telling
No,
you,
fair enough.
if you want to be able to basically plead
Can
your
I?
case,
No, I
Got
just
out
want
one
to plead
time.
guilty because I don't want to take this any further. I'll take the
Twice,
responsibility for my
maybe.
dog and everything here today.
Okay.
I just don't want to take this any further. I have a job. I have kids. I have stuff to take care of. I just want to nip it in the bud today if we can.
All
I don't
right.
believe
Nip
so.
it in the bud. All right. You not only have the right to retain counsel, you are eligible to ask the court to appoint an attorney to represent you at no cost, which
I'm
we'll do
saying.
if you qualify. Was your intention to waive that right?
Yes.
Okay. You have a right to a trial.
had
And for
to.
you, it's either with a judge or a jury. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
He's like,
You
I'll
have a
kill
right
the
to
dog
confront your
off.
accusers, as well as a right to subpoena your own witnesses. That would require
Shows I
them
take
to
it
attend. Do you
serious.
understand?
Yes, sir.
You have a right to present a defense if you
Well,
want
that
to
was.
and
He said, I'm
testify
not
on
guilty.
your own
I think
behalf.
we are.
Nobody can make you, and if you and nobody can stop you from doing it. But you don't have to present any evidence because you're presumed to be innocent. It's the state's burden beyond a reasonable doubt. Understand?
Correct, sir.
If you plead guilty, that's a complete admission of guilt. That just means that the state won't have to prove anything in order for me to find you guilty. I'll go ahead and impose the fine and we'll be done.
I'll leave my fate in your hands today, sir. I plead guilty.
Okay. And you also understand that you'd be giving up those other rights that we just discussed.
Yes, sir.
I will sentence you today if I accept your plea. Any questions about what the maximum penalties are?
No, sir.
All
I'm
right.
well aware.
Have you been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to do what you're doing?
No, sir. I have not.
Are you under the influence of anything right now?
No, sir. I am not.
Don't laugh. You'd be
I'm
surprised how
sorry.
often people
No,
are.
I understand.
Yeah.
I apologize.
That's not necessary. And lastly, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else you want to add to what we talked about?
No, sir.
Can you buy those on
do you do
Amazon?
for
I
work?
wonder.
I
I'm
hope
a
so.
lead mechanic
gamer.
at Huber Automotive in Heath.
Yeah, very good.
He's a mechanic.
My back and
This
body
guy-
hurts every day. I don't. I don't
I
so
guess
much like it,
not
but
having the dog on a leash, basically, right?
Where'd you learn how?
Yeah,
to do
got
that?
out.
My father.
Yeah.
He just got
I've
out.
been doing it since I was 10 years old, so about 20 years now.
All right.
He's been
so here's
a
what we're going to do.
mechanic
I'm going to
since he
accept your
was
guilty
10?
plea and your conviction, order that you
Is that
pay a fine of
legal?
$50 in court costs.
I don't
Any
think so.
questions?
No, sir.
All right. Very well. You may go with your bailiff. Good luck.
I think we only got one more couple.
Yeah, we got one more to go. Is she
Right.
crying about her dog being
Sika
put down?
Kunde?
What'd you say?
Something bad he just said. Let's not repeat
Come on
that.
up.
Something you shouldn't be saying in court.
Not unless you're his attorney. Sorry, he's 18 years old. You understand your rights?
That's his mom?
Thank you. Did you get a copy of the ticket, the complaint? Did you read it
Read
and
that one
understand?
wrong.
So basically, the Pataskla Police Department are alleging that on or about the 21st day of January of this year, within the city of Pataskla and in Lincoln County, Ohio, that you, without privilege to do so, recklessly entered or remained on the land or premises of another, as to which notice against unauthorized access or presence is given by actual communication to the offender. It's commonly known as criminal trespass. It is a misdemeanor of the fourth degree. So the maximum penalties here are up to up to a $250 fine and up to a 30-day jail term. However, none of those penalties are mandatory, meaning I don't have to do those things. Okay. So how do you want to plead?
Guilty.
All right. Now, have you ever been in trouble as an adult or juvenile? Never. Okay. You'd be eligible for the diversion program as well. I don't know how close you were paying attention when I was explaining to that other woman, but the diversion program is for individuals who've never been in trouble before, who are willing to accept responsibility for the charges that they're facing. And if they're accepted into the program, basically it's designed to address whatever the offense was. It looks like this. They're claiming that you went to the school when you were under an out of school suspension, and they consider that trespassing. Okay.
What?
So it would probably have something related to that.
He just
But
left
it lasts
school.
for 1
Creed.
year.
That's what
and
he's
at the
guilty of.
conclusion that year, if you're successful, the charge gets dismissed. No conviction will have ever been entered, and you're eligible to ask the court to seal the record that it was ever even filed against you. You do have to enter a plea of guilty to the charge if your application is granted, though. So you don't have to go for diversion, but if you do have to do a change of plea, which won't ever matter as long as you don't screw up diversion. But if you do, then I take the plea, enter a conviction, and then we proceed to sentencing. So that's just an option. You don't have to do that. It's entirely up to you. Is that
Take
something you
it.
would be interested in pursuing to avoid a conviction?
Well, explain what happened.
Well, no, I know what the allegation is. It looks like the allegation is that, let's see.
Came to school when you were suspended.
Yeah, so the allegation is that you had been subject to an out-of-school suspension, and that part of that suspension was a prohibition from being on school grounds. And they're claiming that you were at the middle school on this day.
Yeah,
Middle school?
I didn't know that I couldn't be at the middle school because my mom, I have two little siblings, and they had basketball games.
Sure.
So I had to help her out with dropping them off. So she dropped me and my little brother off at the middle school, and she took my little sister to their game. But I didn't know I couldn't be at the middle school.
Well, I mean,
He got suspended from high school, and he got in trouble to be at the middle school during a basketball game.
Most
Any
crimes
school
have two
property,
parts.
I
They have the
guess.
physical action, and then they have the accompanying mental state. So, if I'm standing behind that door and you don't know it, and you leave the courtroom all mad, and you whip that door open and hit me in the face, you're not guilty of assault, which is defined as knowingly causing or attempting to cause physical harm to somebody because you didn't know I was back there. If you know I'm standing right there and you do it anyway, then you're guilty of it because you have a guilty mind as well as a guilty action. So here, the level is recklessness, which means conscientiously or disregarding a known risk of that a certain fact is in place, meaning
Hello,
they have to
Highland.
prove that you were reckless in
Speaking of reckless, good to see you.
going to the middle school. And they'd have to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. So, you can do a not guilty plea today. You can apply for court-appointed attorney.
I'm guessing like a
basically
teacher he
take just
knew, or
your
maybe the principal from the high school
Gotta
was there and
be.
seen
You're
him.
probably
Somebody
qualified.
narked on him.
If you want to do
such
the
a
diversion
bullshit
program, you can
charge.
do that by
Yeah, it really kind of is.
plead not guilty,
If-
give you the instructions on how you do
if
that.
we believe him.
You said in the beginning you wanted to enter a plea of guilty.
that's
You can
the
do that if
case-
you just want to wrap it up today, but you'd have a criminal conviction there. All right. So is that what you want to do? You want to enter a plea of guilty? Okay.
No.
Now, before I accept the plea,
No.
I'm gonna ask you some questions. I'm not trying to get you to change your mind about what you're doing. And if you do change your mind at any time,
Diversion, homie.
let me
Only a
know.
suspension.
As I said, you have a right to an attorney, and we give you one for free if you qualified. Was it your intention to give up your right to a lawyer?
Well, 6.
Or would you like to have a lawyer?
6.
What's that?
I don't know.
Well, here, tell you what. You've got enough uncertainty that I'm not going to accept a guilty or no contest plea today.
Go talk to
It'll buy you some
somebody
extra
so they
time.
can
This
tell
will
you
get
to
set
take
pretty quickly,
diversion.
probably within about the next 3 to 4 weeks tops. In the meantime, you can decide if you want to apply for a lawyer, or B, if you want to apply for diversion. and see if you want to have a trial. or
Stansberry
decide for
wants to
that,
tell him
or
so
D, if you
bad,
just wanna
hey,
change
take
your
the
plea and be done
version.
with it the next time you come
Mhm.
back, you can do that too. But this will leave all your options
I
open.
wish
okay?
Mom would
You
yell
do
it
have to
from
come
the
back. What's
back.
your address?
1444
Mhm.
Galway Bend North.
Because if he gets the diversion,
Pataskla?
he'll have to plead
7 o'clock
guilty.
Taylor?
It all goes
But it'll
away.
be yeah,
And
but
are
it'll
you
be
senior at,
sealed
Heights?
Yeah.
All right. Now,
unless
despite
he
the
gets in
suspension, are
trouble
you still
again
on
for
track to
something.
graduate? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Good. You have any plans for after high school?
I want to get into real estate.
Okay.
Private investigator.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody doesn't like him, man.
So
I
according
mean,
to
come
this
on.
paperwork that I've got here, it looks like it was from the 17th of, so you're back in school. Okay, good deal. All right. Well, at least every other time except for right now, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get you out of here, but I don't think you're going to be able to get back in time for your last class of the day. You're going to be released on your own recognizance, notified by mail of your next court date. If you get a lawyer, the notices will go through the attorney, so stay in close contact with them. But this
Have a
will give you
roast
some
beef
time to
sub
figure out
from
how
Jimmy
you want to go
John's
forward.
with her,
I'm
Dennis.
also going to give you a
I love his
explanation sheet,
Jimmy John
about how to
comparisons.
go
I
about
was like,
submitting
ooh,
an
which
application
one do
for
I
diversion,
take?
if that's ultimately what you want to do. So
Price.
that's yours to keep, and the record will reflect that. I'm handing that to you. If you look at it and you're like, I don't want to do any
That's
of
a
that
good
stuff,
question.
then
I don't
that's
know.
fine. Just recycle it and come back to court your next court date. So, any questions today?
Does there have to be a next court date?
There does, because I'm entering the not guilty plea on your behalf. I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to come back. I don't feel comfortable taking a guilty plea today from you based on the statements that you were making. Okay. I'm not saying that means I think
you,
you're innocent.
Stansberry.
Doesn't mean I
You
think
did
you're
him a
guilty. It
favor.
just means that
George
you
would
have
have
to
never
be 100%
done that.
certain you want to
Because
do a
he's
guilty
not
plea, and based on your
technically
statements,
allowed to do
I'm
that.
not convinced
I mean,
that's the case. If you change your mind, you want to change your plead guilty or no contest the next time you come back, you can do that. Okay.
Talk to him
All
off
right.
the record.
Any other questions today? All right, very well. Belle's going to take you down to the clerk's office, and she can answer any questions you may have, ma'am.
Listen, if that were the case, if he was just going to, family's basketball game or whatever at another school,
Yeah.
But man, anyways. All right. Thank you guys. Been fun. We'll see you at 4:05 for Florida Friday.
Yeah, we got a sovereign citizen coming in. And Creed, you might get your ass kicked if you mess with somebody's Nintendo Switch. Just letting you know. All that and more coming at us from Florida itself. Until the next time, like this video, check out our we
To
got
answer
a
your question, Golf and Guns. Yeah.
check out the we got a case exclusive channel. We're trying to get that to 1,000 subscribers. Eventually that's where everything will be. So let's go ahead and do it now. Like it, love it. We'll be back with you on Monday for more court cases. Hopefully Manning will be back. No Manning
Gary?
today. No Manning.
I know.
That's-
Fridays are Manning days.
It is. It's tough.
All right, guys. Gary, thank you. Double F, Mama Tried, Hag, Golf and Guns, Lisa Snoopy. Thank you, guys. So it's the monetary monorail. And
oh, baby. You guys doing it right. Friday is payday, Greed. So let's all get it done. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I had one of those pot pies from KFC last night.
It's the top. It's disgusting.
I squished it down in there, so it felt like the entire thing was covered. So delicious.